Okay, so my name's Ginny Santos, and I'm in love with creativity, and this is why. Creativity is powerful. So I'm going to start with a little personal story. When I was little, I really wanted to lead change in the world. I really felt there was a need for change, and I thought that the only people that could bring about change were politicians. But I really didn't like wearing makeup or a suit, so instead I decided to wear a gas mask and a black hoodie and become a political activist. So I had a lot of fun doing that at times, at other times not, but it felt powerful. We were organizing movements, we were going out into the streets, bringing large numbers of people out into the streets. We were throwing big banners off of bridges, and we felt powerful. Our ideas were really creative, but our tactics were not always as creative. Our tactics were sometimes the same tactics that political activists have used year after year after year. Regardless, the more powerful we got, the more we felt like we were shaking up the status quo, the more we would begin to be repressed. The more the cops would be sent out with rubber bullets or with pepper spray, or they would just shove us down with their batons and cause head injuries. It was ugly and it was painful, and it sucked all the hope out of me temporarily. By the age of 22, I had already been in jail 3 times in 3 different countries. And let me tell you this, jail sucks for sure. But we still have our creativity, even inside jails, at least in Canada and in some of the countries I was arrested in. We know lots of political activists create amazing art and amazing writing while they're in jail. Luckily, I was only ever in jail for 5 days at a time. And because I was only in there for a short period, I was never given a pen or paper or anything to read. So all I had was my imagination. So I used my imagination to just build up hope, to just think about what was possible. What could a better world look like? What would a utopia look like? But I've since learned that imagination is only one component of creativity. There's also critical thinking and strategic thinking. This is Daniel McGowan, a political activist who was very similar to me in lots of ways, but he ended up with a 7-year sentence, which he's about to complete. While he was in jail, he used his creativity to do a lot of writing. So he wrote letters that then got turned into blog posts. He wrote articles that got published in newspapers and magazines. But the more he got published, the more his creative ideas were getting out there, the more they repressed him inside prison. And they sent him to a high security prison and took away his right to publish anything. Luckily, his lawyer was able to fight this, and they won a lawsuit. But the point is that creativity is powerful. Creativity leads change. And those people who don't want change are going to suppress creativity. And we live in a society that really does suppress creativity. It's not that different from when Galileo proposed that the world was round and he was sentenced to death. In the school system, we don't value creativity. We teach children that there's one right answer and nothing else. We teach children to draw square houses with triangles, and we say that's the way to draw a house. And they feel proud of it because they've drawn a house. Everyone can recognize it as a house. How many of you think 3 + 1 is 4? Well, it depends. 3 + 1 might be 3, or it might even just be 1, depending on how you add up those flames. So think about it. There's always more than one right answer, and we need to think more flexibly. We need to be more original in our thinking. We need to be able to think of the second right answer, the third right answer. I facilitate ideation sessions, or what's commonly known as brainstorming sessions, and I really see how difficult it is for people to come up with original ideas. Everyone first comes up with the same ideas that everyone else is having, or a variation off of them, or what they've already seen done in the past. It takes conscious effort to be creative. And think of all the workers who are doing repetitive work. Their creativity is totally suppressed in the workplace. They're doing the same thing hour after hour. They're not expected to do any creative problem solving or any problem solving whatsoever. That's another way in which we suppress creativity in our society. And how many of you have either said one of these statements in your home or at work or in your life, or have you heard someone else say that to you when you propose something creative? These are creativity killers. This is embedded in our culture. This is how we think, and we think we're smart when we say that that's not gonna work. What if instead we said, hey, let's try it. That sounds great. That sounds like something we never thought about. What a good idea. Let's take a risk. Let's give it a try. What if we were more positive? What if we gave creative ideas the green light? What if we encouraged everyone at home and in the workplace to be creative? And what if it was illegal to work in repetitive jobs more than 2 hours a day, for example? What if everyone in society was encouraged to use their imagination and to find creative solutions to problems? Any problem, a problem at work, a problem during their commute, or a global problem. What if we really valued people's ability to be creative? So creativity is contagious, but to pass it on, we need to know how to be creative. We need to relearn creativity. And there are many ways of relearning creativity. There are many techniques out there. The research is growing. There's tons you can do. Talk to me if you want to know. What if we encouraged everyone to dream big, to use their imaginations and think of a world that doesn't yet exist, and then practice strategic thinking to figure out how to get from here to there? What if we told all those children that are drawing houses with squares and triangles to imagine a house that doesn't yet exist, that they've never seen, that no one has seen? Maybe we would deal with some of the climate issues, maybe let me move on to this. So it doesn't take a lot of creativity to agree with this statement, but it does take a lot of creativity to figure out how to solve these big issues. And it doesn't just take one person's creativity or two people's creativity. It certainly doesn't take the creativity of politicians who are far from creative. It takes everyone's creativity in this room and in the world. Thank you.